Okay, well, you mentioned that locals have invested in what you were doing. You have local involvement and investment. Um, how have locals invested in what you were doing, whether it be time-wise or monetary, you know?
Yeah, investment from the local people, I must say, has been minimal in the sense that we don't look at millions being donated. Few people assisted in that regard, but it has not been the ala mode. If I say local investment, it is mutatis mutandis, because um, we cannot say for certain that Tanzania University is purely Nigerian. No. A good percentage of the investment came from external assistance. But many invested in time, manual work. They were mixing concrete for building the houses. They helped also in constructing the roads. They helped also in the horticulture, landscaping. They worked so much from that area. I must commend the brothers of Blessed Iwenitas, with whom I was working so seriously on this project, because they came out en masse. You won't believe it. Young people between 18 and 25 or 30, they carry buckets, they carry shovels, they carry headpans, and mixing cement, mixing concrete, pouring them in the pillars. If you go to the library building, they put all the round pillars you will see. If you go there and take the photo of the library block, they put all that. If you go behind, you will see staircase that goes up in two directions, joins at the middle, and goes into the house. They also constructed that. And at the side, again, another staircase. What I mean by this is that people, local people here, they have been very, very useful in the area of energy or manual work, and giving of their time, which you cannot quantify in terms of money and what money can buy. Yeah.
What is the relationship between, say, an outside, primarily monetary investor and their funds and the Tanzania University?
Though I have two foundations. One registered in Britain as a charity organization, and I think later now in US. Then you have Gracia International. These were very useful in one way or the other in connecting us to people. The outside investors, I have not seen yet an individual outside the ambient of Gracia International Voice of the Poor Foundation. I haven't seen any individual who came out to build a hostel, to build a block, or to construct something after his name or whatever. No. But the Voice of the Poor Foundation, from little things coming in, we have been able to harness all those and use the funds for development of Tanzania University. Already in the country, we are now campaigning to get people who will come and build something like a structure and name it after them, for example. Whether from outside or from within, but we are already working seriously on that. And I think before long, this campaign will start yielding fruits. Yeah.
So say somebody through Gratia International comes in and donates money. They donate money for, we'll say, a new hostel for some female students. And they give you a set amount of money. What is done with that money? How do you make sure that money is well spent? And what happens if you have extra funds?
Right. Number one, the Latins say, abesse ad posse valet illatio. A posse ad esse non valet. From what is to what can be, you can draw conclusion. From what can be to what is, you cannot draw conclusion. They also say, res ipsa loquitur, the matter speaks for itself. If you come to Tanzania University today, you will see two-storied building for boys. A good part of the money came from FedEx, FEDEX. They donated, I think, $10,000 and so on, either twice at least. And that helped in molding the blocks. I remember again what made our structures to grow faster and also more very solid is because we were doing most of the thing, most of the work by ourselves. What we wouldn't be able to do by ourselves, that we ask experts to come. So that one was built by, we can say part of it, or a good part of it, built by FedEx through Gracia International. Right, that is already there as a living testimony. If the money is a little bit extra, what do? I have always done that. If you take picture of this compound, anything that has come from anybody outside this country or within this country by way of donation, at the end of the project, I normally send back financial report to the donor. Look at the amount you gave us. Look at the amount we have used. Look at X amount remaining after spending. Then I normally ask a question: what do you want us to do with this extra amount? And I tell you honestly, most foreigners, most of our foreign investors or those helping us, each time I ask them, what do we do with that? They say, use it for charity work, assist others, or do some one thing or the other. None has ever asked me, okay, bring back the $500 remaining. Nobody has ever asked that. But I always ask them, what do you think we do with this extra? Whenever there was extra. All right.
So it sounds like you try to get the most for the money.
Yes, yes.
You squeeze out every dollar.
If you look at the structures we have, vis-a-vis the money sent, you will be wondering how we're able to get such a structure built up with so little money. The whole history of my interest in school apostolate, that means building of schools, running of schools, just developed from a small town in the northern part of Austria called Waldenstein or Waldenstein. That town had a parish priest. The parish priest showed me the kindergarten, nursery school, and gave me the money used in building the kindergarten there for me to go to my village and build the same type of kindergarten. There, they hadn't as many children as in my village. Here in Nigeria, there are too many children. And so I tried to think of a nursery school with many classrooms. There it was only one classroom. So I used the same money used in building one classroom to build 5 classrooms with a coffee room and a sick bay inclusive. The parish priest, Monsignor Francis Rechberger, couldn't believe it. Which means small money from overseas means big money for us here.
Very good.